Gentlemen, it's time for another etiquette upgrade, and this one is all about your phone. Many etiquette guides were created before mobile phones were an intrinsic part of everyday life. But the phone presents many opportunities to be rude and discourteous. Thankfully, you can be a modern gentleman by following these 6 rules of phone etiquette at all times. This video is not about how you answer the phone or what you say on the phone, rather what you do with your phone and how it affects other people around you. So let's begin with number 1. The first step to using your cell phone like a gentleman is to make use of silent mode. Constant pings and rings can be incredibly annoying and distracting to people around you. Worst of all if these sounds go off at an inappropriate time, like a movie, a church service, or a business meeting. So it's better to get into the habit of having your phone on silent at all times. You will still feel it ring or buzz in your jacket pocket, but it won't distract others. And personally, I like to turn notifications off for all the unnecessary apps and just keep it for when somebody messages me or calls me. That way I don't have unnecessary pings and vibrations going off all the time. I wish this one went without saying, but I was shocked when I moved to the US and saw how many people still use their mobile phone while driving. Distraction is actually the number 1 cause of accidents, above speeding and drunk driving. A gentleman drives with full focus on the road and enjoys driving his car in a pleasurable way. I personally think it says a lot about somebody if they can't even sit on the freeway or in traffic without scrolling through social media. I've even heard guys say they watch porn while driving. And with voice control functions, there's no excuse to be on your phone to check texts or to take a call. So make sure your phone is always in the cradle or just in your pocket next time you are behind the wheel. Now, if you do take a call over Bluetooth and there are other people in the car, let the other person on the end of the phone know. Tell them that you have company and that they're on speakerphone. It may stop them from saying anything overly personal or private that they only want you to know. If you saw my video on restaurant etiquette, you will understand why it is important to put your phone away at the table. I believe this applies to any situation in which you are spending quality time with someone. For example, if you and a friend are going out to get coffee, don't spend your time on the phone because they'll get bored and you two won't get to connect. If you and your girlfriend are unwinding for the night on the sofa, don't get distracted by your phone and instead focus on her and the conversation. As I said in my restaurant video, it is okay to use your phone to show somebody something that might be of interest to them. But make sure you only use it for that and put it straight back without getting distracted by a notification. Even when alone, I believe a gentleman is comfortable without being on his phone. You're more likely to notice something interesting, strike up a conversation with a stranger, or help somebody in need. And there's nothing wrong with being alone with your thoughts for a little while. In fact, I think we have forgotten how valuable these moments of stillness can be for our mental health. Now we come to my biggest bugbear of all. There are few things I find ruder than people using their loudspeaker in public. This is particularly annoying if somebody is scrolling through TikTok on their phone or listening to music through the loudspeaker. But taking a personal call via the loudspeaker is also very uncouth, and you're broadcasting your personal business to the rest of the world. You see so many people doing this, especially on public transport, but a gentleman knows better. And in settings like a restaurant, bar, or coffee shop, it can totally spoil the ambiance for the other people around you. The only time I would scroll with my loudspeaker on is at home alone. If you want to watch videos or listen to music in a public place, use AirPods or headphones, and make sure they are set to a volume so that people around you can't hear it. Alternatively, just keep the sound off whenever you are in public, because you never know what's going to come up on your social media feed, and you don't want to expose the people around you to anything that might be inappropriate. Now, do I think it's okay to bring a Bluetooth speaker to the beach or a park if you're gathering with friends? I do, but keep the volume to a respectable level and don't play any music that might be offensive or inappropriate for others around you. Now, there are times when you do have to take a call in public. Even if you're wearing your AirPods or just holding the phone to your ear the old-fashioned way, there are some extra things to keep in mind. If you can, take the call outside or away from crowds of people. That's going to be better not only for the people around you, but also the person on the other end of the phone to hear you better. Next, be mindful of how loud you are talking. The people around you don't want to hear your personal business or feel involved in the conversation, so lower the tone of your voice. Naturally, I'm not a loud person, as you can tell from my videos, but I'm always conscious of how loudly I'm speaking whenever on the phone in public. And thirdly, avoid personal topics of conversation that others around you might not want to hear. This could be a medical matter, anything sexual, or just something that's highly personal and private. It's okay to tell your caller that you are in public and you can't talk about that right now. This last suggestion is less about etiquette and more about respect for yourself. A gentleman knows that the phone does not belong either in or anywhere near his bed. The bed is for two things only, and the phone is useful for neither. If you use your phone as an alarm clock, make sure it's at the other end of the room and out of reach. Having your phone near you in the bed can wreak havoc with your sleep. You're exposing yourself to blue light just before you go to sleep, which affects your circadian rhythms. And if you're struggling to sleep at night, you'll be tempted to scroll through your phone, which only creates a vicious cycle. And if your phone is in your bed or on your nightstand, it will only be too easy to either snooze that alarm or start the day by scrolling on social media. And I think a gentleman ought to have a disciplined morning routine that starts the day productively and deliberately. Personally, I keep my phone on sleep mode until fairly late in the morning so I can focus on being productive and getting as much done as possible. Gentlemen, I want to hear from you in the comments. What is the next area of etiquette you would like me to cover? And if you want to be part of a real-life community of like-minded gentlemen, then please register your interest for the Gent Z meetup, which will be taking place in Chicago. I'm still deciding on the venue and the date, so I need anybody who is interested to register using the link below so I can plan accordingly. I just need your email address so I can send you an invite when I have the date and location booked. So I'm very much looking forward to doing our first ever in-person event. Thank you for watching this video, and I will speak with you all in the comments.